Hello, everyone. We are back here again to play some more Blades on the Dark here on the High Shelf Gaming channel. High Shelf Gaming channel, if you're here by chance and are not familiar with it, is a podcast. They cover all things games and gaming oriented. There's coverage of board games, RPGs, gaming conventions, talking with game designers, talking with people who are just fans of different games, all that kind of good stuff. Available wherever fine podcasts are sold for your particular device and or machine. And yes, way down at the bottom down here, you can see highshelfgaming.com. It's the main website. There are also groups of us who circle around on Facebook, and there's Discord and just all the things. So yes, interested in gaming stuff, go check it out, please. Since David is not here to join us tonight. So yes, in other news, Terranary,
Veterinary.
Zine
So
Quest.
a friend of the show, Patch, is running a Kickstarter called Terranary. It's a sci-fi game in a D12 system. It's a zine. If you'd like to check it out, you can head over to the Kickstarter. I'll drop the link down in the chat, and we
Yeah.
appreciate it.
I think there's maybe 2 days left on the Kickstarter.
It
I
ran for
forget
two
off the
weeks,
top
so
of my head.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like it's coming up
four
on the
days to
end,
go.
so
Yep,
cool.
4 days to
So
go.
Finally
get
giving
in.
those lonely D12 something to do.
I know, right?
Yes.
That,
Also, I think the most recent actual episode of High Shelf Gaming was talking with him, which was
yep,
interesting to hear his
it was
design thoughts
interesting.
that everything that was going into the game itself.
Yeah, and
Uh,
it's gonna be we're gonna be running it and a lot of other games at Gen Con. High Shelf will be so.
cool. Yes.
Not that
So,
Scott knows anything about that.
yeah. No, Scott doesn't pay
What?
attention to that kind of thing.
Do what?
Nothing.
Running games at Gen
There's a
Con.
stream. We were gonna play a game.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on the next episode of High Shelf Gaming Podcast.
Are you?
Ooh.
It's me. We're gonna talk. We talk about the Spurs. We talk about leeching. We talk about a lot of good stuff.
Possibly a game.
No, we actually do not talk about a game.
There's actually a
No.
lot of extended discussion about like what's it called, trepanning, where you like drill the holes to relieve the pressure in your skull.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we, we talk
that
we
goes
talk
on for
about
almost an hour just on
we
its own.
talk about Pac South is what we talk about. That's what we talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so let's play games.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. So yes, Blades in the Dark. We have our crew of scoundrels, the Faceless. Last time around, they went out and they did a couple different things. Some of you guys took Baso Baz, head of the Lamp Blacks, the dreaded Lamp Blacks, and yet Maribel's good friend, to dinner to try to distract him. Took him out and liquored him up with some fine whiskey, while the rest of the crew broke into his office to try to steal a vase, and also smashed and grabbed a couple other things. Ghost went home with a fancy gun axe. So yeah, we covered some of the things after that at the end of that session. But one of the hallmarks of Blades in the Dark is that it has a phase of play called Downtime. So Downtime is all the things you do after the score, when you're at liberty between scores and find some respite from peril. You may pursue 2 downtime activities. These are things that may be personal goals that you're trying to work towards. They may be things that you're trying to do on behalf of the crew, things you're trying to do to prepare for something else later on that you know you want to do. Yeah. So we're going to work through that here at the beginning. Let's try. Can I get you all to introduce your characters? Can we start over here with Maisley?
Maisley is a 10-year-old girl who kind of looks like a mix between Wednesday Addams and the girl from The Ring. She sees dead people, just like the kid on Sixth Sense. And Dimas is my adopted father.
Sure.
So
By hook or by crook. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's hear down that way. Demas, tell us
Hi.
about Mr. Pavok.
Yes, I'm playing Demas Pavok the Spider, who is the. Let's see, what's on here? We have the scion of a fallen noble house from Scotland. And he's got plans. Who knows what they are?
Okay.
Maybe he doesn't even know, but he's got plans. And he loves to make deals.
Creepy deals.
Yes.
Totally normal.
Cool. Casey, would you like to tell us about Ghost?
Yeah, my character name is Griffith. Goes by Ghost. When he's not stealing gun axes from dangerous criminals, he likes to gamble, and he's trying to save up enough money to bring his wife over from Takarosi.
From the old country, full of like the hunting spiders and the trees full of blood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And Katrina, would you like to tell us about Maribel?
Sure, I'm playing Maribel Welker. She is a very calm, fair, striking woman who is ready also to make deals, but maybe in a different way than Demas.
Mine are binding.
Mine aren't.
Yes. Whether you're alive or not. Okay, so yes, after last time, one is I need to get right. I get to frame a scene where you guys are coming back to the School of the Red Sash because Mylara Clev had sent you off to steal this little. He sent you with a little wooden crate with a vase inside to swap it with one from Boz's office. So I was going to start with like having you guys coming there to deliver that to him. Kind of coming back to the School of the Red Sash. I think as you come in, there's like rows and rows of like smallish children, like maybe like 6 to 8 years old, who are all like doing their drills with like blunted like scimitar swords at this school that's all focused around like martial artsy swordsmanship. There's probably like a row of them who are doing these like weird acrobatic flips while like flinging the sashes at people to try to like practice that kind of thing. But as you arrive, one of Mylara Clev's assistants will like take you into the back, into where there's like an office space, and he asks you to wait. He says that Mylara Clev will be with you in a moment, but he's a little busy right now, so it'll be a second. So he leaves you in there, and it's quiet. It's probably actually, yeah, it's the same room you were in the last time you were here, right? So low table, kind of hookah in the middle, though he doesn't have it lit. He's not messing with it right now. Kind of pillows around the table. And I think after you've kind of been in there, kind of wandering around, like staring at the walls and stuff for a minute, he will show up. Yes.
Before he shows up, I want to look at Demas and I say, "See, those kids get to play with swords. I don't understand why I can't."
I would reference the bandage on your hand.
This the bandage on my hand didn't come from a sword. Whatever.
Oh, she's going through that phase.
You don't know me.
Demas is not that Dad. Old. He's not that old. He is not prepared for parenthood.
It wasn't from a sword. It was because you had me go and rob somebody with a bunch of strangers.
Strangers, I'll let you play with my dog.
That is not what it seems to be.
Is she going to be able to keep her mouth shut, Demas?
Probably.
I doubt it.
That might be a problem for us in the streets.
You will learn.
She's learned so much already.
We definitely had our masks on, and I'm definitely wearing different clothes from any other time I've been in Crowsfoot. So.
Oh, we have our masks on right now?
I have mine on.
Yes. I mean, you're here as the faceless. Yes,
we are doing business.
Perfect. Yes. So after a few minutes, my Clev will come in, and I will find that handout here again because I do have that picture of him. NPCs, my
I
Clev.
just can't. I'm sorry.
So yes, Mylara Clev, who is this aging swordsman who runs the Red Sash School, and he's the head of the Red Sashes, running their network of vice dens and all that kind of stuff. He comes in. He the last time you were here, he wore this flowing white outfit with this like red silk sash, and this time you do notice that like he's got like a small towel and he's wiping off his hands, but there's blood all over the front and like on like the cuffs of his shirt.
Hmm.
Mm.
Um, so he will come back in. It's like, oh yes, I'm sorry, things have been difficult here. Um, you know,
I hope we did not catch
but
you at an inopportune time.
it's like he'll say no, and then he'll use a term in Hadrathi in the middle of it. He's like, no, those something red black lamp blacks have been up in the streets again, and we will put those something dogs down. But like what they did to my nephew is unforgivable. Um, So, and he kind of carries on. He's like, but that's, no, we're glad to have your help. This is our problem and not yours. So,
Noted.
but, I see you come, and you have, the little crate with you. He probably has a better name for it that I just can't think of off the top of my head. He's like, I trust you all were successful.
Indeed.
Yes. We have your strange face.
Excellent. Well, then I'm glad to have you all here. I will. And he kind of like gives a little clap, and like his assistant kind of pops his head back in. He's like, he says something to him in Hadrathi in the other language, and the guy goes off to it's like he'll be back in a moment with the rest of your coin for doing this. Again, thank you very much. Guy comes back with the little vase, and another red sash comes in who has like he's got like probably real dark circles under his eyes. He looks really gaunt and thin. And he's the one who like takes the crate, and like walks back out with it.
Mm-hmm. While we're waiting for another person to come get that crate, is Dave's character here or not?
We'll just go with no for the sake of simplicity.
No. Okay. Our friend who's not here with us now did note a strange feeling when he picked up that vase. Is there something that we should be concerned about for him?
It's like, no, discomfort is discomfort when touching it is understandable. But he was not in contact with it, as none of you were for an extended period of time, so you should have no ill effects. Everything should be fine.
Is there an insight sort of mechanic?
Yeah, let's see. There's some sort of a
Study?
I think there's study and survey, who both kind of like study a person, document, or item with close scrutiny to gather information, apply knowledge, gain a deeper understanding, do research. So that's more around a thing. Survey a location or situation to understand what's going on. Sense trouble before it happens. Gather information about opportunities or exploits. So survey might be a better fit.
Okay. Position?
Risky.
Standard?
Yeah.
No bonus dice?
I don't think so. I mean, I can find you I can find you a devil's bargain if you want. Otherwise, if you want to push yourself or something like that, you're welcome
I'm not
to.
the one that touched the vase.
All right. Solid 5.
Cool. So if you scroll down towards the bottom of the character sheet,
My character sheet?
yeah,
Okay.
there's like a little column kind of towards the middle that says gather information. If you want to pick like 2 of those to ask, you can.
Oh, there.
Some of them
Okay.
some of them may not be great fits for this situation, but they give us an idea for somewhere to start anyway.
Are they really telling the truth?
Yes.
That it's
Actually,
not
you
going to
you
be.
you would you would actually get that one for free because you always know when people are lying,
Oh, that's
right?
true. I do.
Yeah, yeah.
Ha, sucker.
No, you know he is
Um,
not lying about like he as far as he is aware at least. Yeah, no, you should have no concerns around the time that you have spent
okay.
in contact with this item.
Then what are they really feeling?
Um, he's putting on a brave face. He is like being cordial and being talkative with you guys. He's like he is really thankful for the work that you've done here. Um, but he is uh, covered with some blood and preoccupied,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like his mind is he's here and he's being nice and he's being sociable about you guys being here to we've done the thing, we're here to collect our payments, but he's not lingering over the conversation, right? He's not kind of laying back and having a hit off the hookah and taking his time over discussing what's going on. He's like, yes, thank you, you're back, I have money for you. um, I'm fine, pay
Be
no
gone.
attention to all this blood. Yeah.
Mhm.
He's not like kicking you out the door because like he's friendly with you guys, but like he has other things on his mind for sure.
Okay, then can I go with how can I get them to, this is going to be a far throw for me, Mike, so reel it back. Um, how can I get them to give us more information so we can help them, thus getting more money? I said it was a long ball.
It is. I think there's probably a way that Mike can't navigate because it's just not the way his brain works. To have the conversation around like yes, we see that something significant has happened. Can we offer more help? Things of that nature to kind of get more information about it. And kind of the thing that he will try to get across quickly is that like the fighting with the Lamp Blacks is still ongoing. There has been a mild escalation. Um, the Red Sashes seem to be doing better than the Lamp Blacks, but they know the Lamp Blacks have to be up to something.
Okay.
And the person whose blood is on him was his nephew, and that's not a significant loss to the Red Sashes in terms of what they're trying to get accomplished. But it is like a personal affront to Mylera Cliff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not just you killed one of my men; it's you killed one of my men who's a blood relative of mine, and that's weighing on his mind here.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'll just hold on to any information on like being able to do another score or something for him.
Um, yeah, I think in general,
I'm not gonna
I
push the issue right now.
in general, he will say he knows they are planning something, but he does not know what. If you guys were able to find out more about that and do something to try to help head off whatever else it's like something's up with them. They're being extra violent, but like they're also like they're acting weird. So we know they're doing something. If you could find out anything about what that is and try to help head that off,
If the coin is right.
the red sashes would be willing to compensate you for that practice and be thankful for it.
I kind of glance at Demas, like, kind of in that, do you think you could get that bargain thing going?
So you usually think about what I'm trying to explain. Usually we don't pick out a job for you up front. Like if we were talking like Cyberpunk and Shadowrun, like this the fixer comes to you and says, "I'll give you 20,000 creds if you go do this job," right? And in Blades, there's not as much of that because it's not usually as much of someone comes to you to tell you to do a thing,
Okay.
as much as we give you the options of doing things that are of interest to the group and the crew.
Okay.
And then at the end of the process of when we finish a score, based on the score, we're able to say, oh, this was an average payout score that's worth 6 coin. Like there's a little chart for it.
Okay.
Like this was a score that accomplished something for us, but we didn't get a lot of money for it. It's like, oh, there's 2 coin out of that one. So
Demas will sort of, just to wrap the conversation up and to move things on, just say, we will not waste any more of your time that I see is quite limited, but we are casting our nets for more employment, and should something come up that is beneficial to you, we will certainly let you know.
yeah, he casts that back to you in the same way, right? Because I'm trying, as Mike the GM, I'm trying to give that to you. If you can come up with things that are going to help the red sashes against the lampblacks, they will compensate you for it.
Yeah. I have nothing, like I have no stress and no harm to do, so like that my whole downtime is just going to be gathering information, more or less.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, he will, like, he has his sleeves rolled up because he was helping, and he does still have like that sort of spider web shape from when you shook before.
Yeah.
So he does like offer you his hand to, let that kind of.
Yeah, and it kind of just dissipates.
Like he kind of nods to you and thanks. It's like, I look forward to speaking with you again soon when things aren't as hectic. So.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we?
Indeed.
Yes. Okay. So with that processed here, yes, the deal was for 10 coin overall. So I think that is 5 more coin coming into you guys now. 5 up front, 5 now. So if you want to mark it so that everybody has 2 coin on your character sheet, that's
I think
that's
for
good
now
for
it's
now.
the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
And then you can put that on David's, right?
Oh, yes, I can. While we're here thinking of it. And coin. Tick. Okay. Yes, then we will come back around to downtime proper, now that we've got the tail end of the narrative part there out of the way. So I will pop this up. So basically, when we reach the downtime phase of the game, everyone gets the opportunity to take 2 downtime activities. These are your choice, but they are like this specific list of 6 options are the things that happen in downtime. Looking up more information will get to after downtime, because there's kind of
okay.
The game runs in a circle. And
Gotcha.
the three steps are free play, which is kind of like going around the city, getting information, all that kind of stuff, doing a score, and then downtime here. So we're in downtime. In a second, we'll come back around to gathering information. So the 6 things that you can do during downtime are acquire an asset. So that would be some device or piece of gear that would be useful to the crew. That is something out of the ordinary or weird that you wouldn't usually have access to. That can also be an item, or it can also be like a person. So if you need to find a doctor because we didn't have somebody in the group who knows a doctor to go to, you can use acquire asset to try to get a good doctor who's going to help you more. There's also long-term project, and that's where we figure out something ongoing to work towards and set a clock for it. And this would be putting ticks onto that clock. So some of the stuff from before we had talked about, masks that do all these wild, the faces on them change and they communicate with one another encrypted more or less. And there's a way where when somebody walks up, it'll change to a way that they know they're supposed to be talking to you kind of thing. Working towards those could be long-term projects. I was actually going to recommend that as an option for the group. Third
we could just
option.
Use both of David's downtime actions to do that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was going to give him downtime the next time he's on. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair.
Third option is recover. So harm in the game is descriptive. It's not just you lose 4 hit points, right? Maisley is cut. She got slashed up by a bunch of broken glass in Basso Baz's office. So recover is to go and try to seek help for that. Otherwise, there is a rule somewhere about like just waiting out your harm, but it's super, super slow. Recover is, you go find a doctor to help you. Ooh, I went super out of focus. There we go. Okay. Going to a doctor to try to get him to help you with your broken leg. Going to Quellen the witch to have her put a poultice on it that's going to help do something kind of deal. To try to heal your harm. So that there's a clock for healing because there's clocks for everything. It's great. It's one way to do everything in the game.
Demas, do you have your kid on the chip program? I'm just curious. No health insurance for the child. Okay.
You didn't have measly microchipped, or am I misunderstanding the question? Like
Chip is children's
like,
health insurance program. But also,
No,
maybe you should get measly microchip.
She has the health benefit called Urchin, which is 0 health benefits.
It's like, oh, I've been cut really badly. It hurts. It's like, go rub some filth in it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, rub filth on it.
Builds up your immune system. Yeah, so in order to heal, you have to fill your healing clock. When you fill a healing clock, then all your harm comes down one step. So if you had level 3 harm, it becomes level 2. If you had level 2 harm, it becomes level 1. Level 1 falls off the bottom of the chart. So if you get hit really bad, that takes a long time to heal. You'll be stuck with after effects of that for a while you're trying to get rid of it. Fourth option here is reduce heat. And that's you go out and you do something. You get to describe what that's going to be and who you're doing stuff with and what's going on. And that's to reduce the amount of attention on the crew. Right? If your heat's really high, then eventually that's going to start being you start to be wanted. And this is a way to fight that heat meter back down.
Is that heat
so
like just from the cops or from like other gangs?
It's anything else in the city that's going to start paying attention to you. But on the character sheet, there's like the stress meter, and when the stress thing fills, you take a trauma and you reset the stress. So for the crew, there's kind of the same thing, and that's you have a heat meter that fills up, but it turns into wanted level and then it resets. So just like indulging your vice would get you stress ticks back, reducing heat gets rid of the heat ticks. So it's sort of the stress and trauma version as it applies to the group.
And we're at 4 right now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next up is train. You can spend one of your downtime actions training. That will let you take 1 XP in anywhere on your character sheet because it's by attribute group, and then it's by playbook XP, and put an XP in any one of those meters. But I think the crew actually has an upgrade.
We have prowess.
Yeah, so if you train prowess, you'll get 2 XP for prowess instead of just 1. So if you wanted to work towards like I want to get another special ability, you could train and put that into like the playbook XP. If you wanted to work towards getting another level of prowl or something like that, you could train in prowess and then you would get 2 XP. And then the last option is indulge your vice, where you visit your vice for air and you clear stress based on making a roll and stuff like that. For right now, there are some people in the crew who have a little bit of stress. I think when I was looking before, you've basically got so little stress stacked up so far that if anybody were to try to indulge your vice, there's a very good chance you would overindulge your vice, and then that brings its own set of problems along. Where,
So, I got 5. Is that like right at the limit? Like, so next downtime I should do something?
So if you have 5, you probably could, right? So like let me pop up your character sheet so I can
1
get
in
like
6
specific
chance that you will overindulge.
But it also says if you do not or cannot indulge your vice during downtime, you take stress equal to your trauma. I guess I don't have a trauma.
Right. Nobody has any trauma right now.
Okay.
So for Griffith, if you were to indulge your vice, you'd roll 1d6 and you'd clear that many stress. If you roll a 6, you would have overindulged. So then there's like some things down at the bottom of that handout. Like
Can
you
you bring
attract,
it up
you
for me
attract.
again? It disappeared.
Yeah, let me. Yeah, I closed it on my side too. Downtime.
Sorry.
Show to players, no problem. Yeah, so if you overindulge, you get to choose, but you either attract trouble, which means the group gets an additional entanglement. You get loaded and you brag about your exploits, which causes +2 heat to the group. Your character goes off on a bender and you have to play a different character instead. Or your current vice purveyor cuts you off and you have to spend time finding yourself a new vice purveyor. So there's a 1 in 6 chance for Griffith, if he goes to indulge his vice, if he heads down to Spogs to play in the dice game, that he's going to invite some additional difficulties on himself and or the crew.
I like that indulging the vice is a dice game.
Yes.
Yeah, that was like, I got a dice game, and I'm like, am I feeling lucky tonight? Alright. I'll think about it.
Okay. Well, does anybody have an idea for a downtime action that you do want to take?
Yeah, I'm gonna go see the witch. I'm gonna do 1 recover, and then I'm gonna work on a long-term project.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where does Quellen hang out when she's not like beckoning you into dark alleys?
She hangs out at the she hangs out in her witch shop.
Okay.
It's called Quellen's Quality Quellen's Quick Quality Crafts, but it's like QCRAFTS. Quellen's Quick Quality Crafts, and she does talk with like a little lisp thing like that. I don't know if it's a lisp or just an accent.
Okay.
She talks like
I will get it totally wrong whenever I have to be her. I'll
she
tell you.
She talks like the priest from
Marriage.
Marriage.
Mm-hmm.
We are here today to celebrate.
She says, "You want to try some of my crafts?"
Yes.
My name is Quellen. Quellen's Quick Quality Crafts.
Things I have to write in my notebook. Quellen's quick.
I bet in the book it's like Quellen, totally badass, super creepy.
Yeah.
And now she is reduced to the abbot.
Damn it.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, I mean we get like, Maisley walking in, like, the door rings the little bell over at Quellen's in the back.
Mm-hmm.
I go, oh, hello, dear. A pleasure to see you again.
Don't feed into his bullshit, Mike.
I love it, though. I kind of like it.
It's been a while, my lovely.
Yes, grandmother. It's good to see you too. I got hurt because of bad parenting decisions. Can you give me one of your quick quality quaps?
Like, oh my, that does look troublesome.
It's a boo-boo. And when I go down to play with the spirits in the sewers, the smell of blood makes them a little violent, and I don't want to be one of them, at least not yet.
Oh no, dear, it's not your time at all yet.
No,
We'll get you all taken care of.
Thank you.
So let me see your hand. I'll use a little bit of something wort and a little bit of something flour.
Yeah, flour.
She makes this little poultice thing, kind of like soaks it. She's like, so, yes, Here,
Quellen.
we'll put that on your hand, and we'll have you sit here with it for a while. Like, you know,
Thank you.
she
Thank you,
straps it to your hand and ties it on. It kind of stings, and it smells like potpourri and like something dead at the same time. So it's
patchouli.
not.
Thank you, grandmother. I have a question for you, though. This is what I would call my long-term project. Please tell me a story. What do you know of the Skurlocks? And then I roll a die.
So give me 1 second.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Um,
Yeah. You did
yeah,
not
so-
know
so-
I was going to kill two birds with one stone.
Well, I didn't know you were gonna kill two birds with one stone, and I wanted to find out more about like what you're trying to find out about the Skurlocks.
Well, no, I don't want anybody else to know.
Yeah, but I gotta know. Actually,
I know. Wait. Excuse me.
La 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 la.
None of
Let me.
none of us are listening.
Grandmother, let me private message you on this chat app we have.
I
Yes,
mean,
okay.
we can just not use that
we are-
information in character. It's fine.
Yeah, like we're not there.
Yeah, we're all adults, Scott.
So Skurlock is a vampire, right? And he's kind of my rival. I'm kind of feeling like I see all the dead people and I'm starting to be like, I don't want to be a dead person. And so what do I want to do to not be a dead person is to live forever. And therefore I want to know more about the local vampires.
That's perfect.
I like that you have a vampire rival and you're like 9.
How did you piss off a vampire as a child?
It was one of the choices. Well, I don't know so much as he is my rival now, but he is definitely
But he
going to
will
become. He's going to become a rival because eventually I'm going to become a vampire, and then I'm going to take over his vampire empire.
he's definitely someone where like every now and then you'll go somewhere and there's like a carriage with like the big red banner with like the black eagle on the back.
Yeah.
And
I'm
like you like it has like drapes in the windows and you see like the drape like pulled to the side and it's dark inside and then like the drape closes and like the carriage like pulls away. Like
and I'm super interested.
yes.
All right, so I guess I'm gonna roll study, or am I gonna roll like?
So let's start by having you do a fortune roll for the healing.
Okay, how do I do that?
And I did pop up that there is Skurlock Manor here in the city somewhere. So that's what his house looks like.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah, you would want to be a vampire so you can have the big fancy house.
I heard it's in ruins though. I was reading the book. I was doing one of those things, reading ahead.
Yeah, it's certainly like kind of like, you know, all the wood is kind of like bowed and rotting and like it's not like nothing's a straight line on it anymore, but it's still like this huge place with the pillars and all that kind of stuff.
Interesting, grandmother. Tell me more while I heal.
Yes, yes, my child. Allowed the poultice to do its job, do its work. Yeah, so underneath where it says your friends, there's a button that says roll fortune.
Okay.
And I think Quellen is not a superb healer. So she's 1 die, but she's also your friend. If you're working with a friend on some of these things, it gives you an extra die.
Okay, so 2 die.
Yep.
Notes. Do I put a note?
You can mark it healing or recovery or whatever you feel like there. Yeah.
Excuse me. That magical feeling, Jesus fucking Christ.
Somebody had to be the creepy kid. Okay, so on a 6, you get
No one had to.
I got 6 and a 5.
yeah. So on a 6, you get 3 ticks on the healing clock.
3 ticks. Okay.
Yep. Now, here's where the healing clock turns into the giant pain in the ass. Right now, that's not complete, so you don't heal.
Mm-hmm.
And if you leave it where it is and you go do another score and you take damage, it will reset.
Well, I'm a 10-year-old kid. Why would I take damage?
Hey man,
Went through
I,
this
I
last
can
time.
throw harm at you for anything.
I feel like maybe my parents will be more responsible this time.
But
Wait, you just said parents in the plural. You have a
I was
parent.
like,
The rest of us are not involved in this mess.
living and otherwise, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I see my parents all the time.
Anyway, point being, if you spend 1 coin, that pushes it up to if it had been a critical, and on a critical you get 5 ticks on the clock. So you will heal and have 1 tick left over if you spend a coin on it.
All right. So, do I get a coin from all that stuff, or did I get? I was about to say a word that was derogatory towards gypsies, and so that's not cool. Did I
Yes,
get?
please don't.
Did I get?
Yeah,
Shafted?
you got 1 coin up front. You got another coin just now when my Laraclev paid everybody at the end.
Well, no, that doesn't mean they gave it to me though.
Well, they did.
Okay.
Right. Everybody's
So I already had 1 coin marked on here, and I didn't mark it. So was that from that last time, or what?
Yeah, I think I checked that after last time. I was.
All right.
Yeah, no spoilers. I was poking around in character sheets.
So
You are the DM. You're
I will
allowed.
spend. I'll go ahead and spend a coin to heal myself. Grandma, Mom, it still hurts, Grandma, Mom. Here's a coin. Make it better.
It hurts, and I understand, but that's how you know it's working.
Can I pay a little bit extra so that you will, like, put me to sleep while it heals?
Wait, you mean like put you to
Local
sleep?
anesthetic?
Like, that's...
Can we give you a coin for local anesthetic?
Yeah, she gives you like a piece of root to chew on that helps, like, It's, I had a friend who wound up in the hospital at one point, and he's like, they gave you medicine that, like, it didn't make it hurt any less, but you didn't care. Like, it's just, yeah, okay, I'm doing all right. Yeah, so you can take a cut out of your harm chart there.
All right, so I spent a coin. I have one tab on the healing bar for residual healing, and now I've got. I know I love you too, and I healed my cut.
Okay. And let's see, where can I put stuff for a clock for you?
I mean, they have a progress clock on the chart.
Yeah, that's for healing, I think.
Isn't there a place there, right above like your notes section? There's a clocks part.
Yeah, I was gonna stick one on the map here just so it's.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's my pretty ones that I can show on stream.
That's fair.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
All
right.
And this size, and it should be.
All right.
White texture should be lighter.
Go away. Why did I click on that? Go away.
I've made a terrible mistake.
Mistakes were made.
Okay, so I'll pretty that up at some point later, so it's in a better spot and out of the way. But yes, we have a Maisley trying to learn about Lord Skurlock clock.
How many pieces of the pie is it?
You can make a study roll. I'm not supposed to tell you what to roll according to the actual rules in the book, but based on what it sounds like you're talking about, you're trying to gather information. So it's
so is it risky, controlled, fortune?
Right now it's probably controlled. Yeah,
controlled. All right.
Because I think for these it's basically just doing the thing. It's not
standard.
Yep.
No bonus dice. Ooh, I don't know if I paid too close attention to what she was telling me.
Yeah.
So, Grandma, you're so boring.
Yeah, you don't find out a whole lot. I mean, you do find out kind of like the stuff that's like always already out there, right?
Yeah. Well,
There is a Skurlock family. The actual the main part of the family is from like the Imperial City. But here in Duskfall, there is the Skurlock family, and they have Skurlock Manor. It's been here for hundreds and hundreds of years. They say he's a vampire. Nobody's seen him, but like there's still Skurlock, like things around town, like carts and stuff with Skurlock heraldry that are like out and about now and then. So
it's going to be a 6-part clock.
Yeah.
All right. So one tick. One tick of my 6-part clock.
Yes. And that should wrap up Maisley for now.
All right, Grandmama. I'll see you later. I'm going to go back home with my father who doesn't pay attention to me.
It's like, wait, before you go, child.
Mm-hmm.
She
he's going to burn
reaches
up.
in. She has like one little piece of candy. She's like,
Oh,
you know the game. You know the game, friend. Yeah.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
tell me the name of one of your friends.
Sure, Dimas.
No. You've already told me about Demas. You've already asked me about
that's-
Demas.
Oh. All right, fine. Let me see. Oh, what was the name of that dude? What was the name of that guy from the Red Sashes?
No, she needs the name of somebody from your crew.
Oh, fine. Mary Bell. Screw her. I'm just kidding. Maribel.
Well, he gave him the wrong name, so
Maribel. Give me that candy, old lady.
No. I forgot to open my Google Doc up front. Now it's being slow. Ghost. Maribel.
Right. Oh.
Yes, she says,
Grandma.
that daughter of spring upon the North Hook. Ivy will claw at her skin and prick like the rose. And she hands you a piece of candy.
What will claw her
Whoa,
skin?
what? Say those words again.
She says, that daughter of spring upon the North Hook, which is another way that people refer to Duskfall sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, Ivy will claw at her skin and prick like the rose.
I grab the candy and I say, "That's nice, Grandma." And I walk off.
See you later, dear. Like, here.
Bye.
I'm so screwed. Let's see. I have a
Alright.
long-term project.
I'm done.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to ask. See, I have this like mix of like aliases and actual names in all my notes, so it's like everything's written Ghost. It's like Griffin. Yeah. So your wife, she's in Tykeros still. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Did you want to see about like making a like make the arrangements for her to come here type clock or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, I would
Okay.
actually like to do that. To build arrangements to get her here. How do I go about doing that?
You say you want to do that, and I put a little thing on the board, and I put a note next to it. So,
All right, I want to do that.
and I will put a little thing on the board and put a note next to it. And I will make it not just say Maisley learned about Lord Skurlock. I will make it say Griffith. Her name was Lorena. Lorena, yes.
From the House of Lilith. Really playing in on that demon side of things. Mike, I'm looking at some of these things on the crew, and I was looking at Covert Drops. Is that a thing? Like, do we need to find somebody to do that?
So let me take a look here. So, where were you seeing Covert Drops? Okay, Covert Drops is like the gray boxes that are all mixed together.
Yeah.
Right. So, instead of what we can do is instead of having a score where like we're trying to do something against the Lamp Blacks, we can do a score where you say we're trying to get Covert Drops, and if the score is successful, we check that on the crew sheet.
Okay.
there's something that I can look up later because like some of them are connected and others of them aren't. Where if you go from ones that are connected to ones that are connected, it's easier.
Okay.
Or rather, I think if you go to one that's not connected, it becomes more difficult.
Okay. See, one of my long-term projects was gonna like try to find a person to do covert drops, but never mind.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we can do that. That's like free play where we gather information.
Yeah.
It's not like a downtime thing necessarily.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can get information to figure out where you want to go to get that, and then the score is acquiring that for the crew. Yeah.
Okay. Then for a long-term project, I think I would like to do that. Unless you are, Ethan. Unless your character is going to do that.
You don't need to make that a long-term project, I think is what we're trying to say.
Yeah. And I'm sorry.
I'll do that after the
Yeah.
downtime activities.
Yeah.
Oh.
Finding information you can just do, and then it's a score if you want to try to take one of those boxes.
Okay.
Yep.
So like last time
then-
when they went to dinner with Basso Baz, that was a score. And if they said instead, you know, we're trying to take turf, then we figure out who you're trying to take turf from, and that would be the score. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
One note,
folks. We're learning.
Yeah. One note based on that bar, if you're looking at the crew sheet, where it has rep, and turf on the same bar. As it fills from left to right with rep, that's how the crew levels up. If you take the ones on the chart that are just labeled turf, that bar fills in from right to left, so you need less rep to level up.
I gotcha. Okay, cool.
So you know, if you take all 3 turf that are on there, instead of needing like 10 rep to level up, you take 7 rep to level up, I think. Something like that. That actually might be more than 10. It looks like it's 12, but yes. Yeah.
So I guess then I would like to do acquiring asset. So like what kind of thing do I need to be looking at for acquiring an asset?
It depends on what kind of asset you're trying to acquire, right? Because on one hand, that could be if you knew you were going to need like specialized digging gear for a score to break into the basement somewhere.
Okay.
Right? You could use acquire asset to do that. But also like acquire asset could be I'm trying to find a really good lawyer who can advance this cause of, you know, making arrangements for Larissa to emigrate to Duskfall.
Yeah.
Like there are things for that you can do on your own, but if you found someone who does that, that would make it more effective.
Let me do that.
Okay.
I want to find a lawyer to make it easier for her to get here.
Okay.
What would that be? Study or hunt?
Let's see.
Study a person document with close scrutiny. Hunt a target, gather information about the location movement.
Okay. To acquire the asset, roll the crew's tier. The result usually indicates the quality of the asset you are using the crew's tier as the base.
Okay.
So it would be a fortune roll, which is down there underneath your contacts. Contacts.
Tier 0.
Contacts.
Yeah.
So, what do I?
So yeah, the crew is tier 0, which would be 0 dice, unless you have like one of your friends who might be able to, like, you know, help put you in touch with somebody.
We have a cop. We have the blue coat that's friends with the crew.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want to say that you talked to LaRose, because, you know, when blue coats have had to, you know, find people who are here, you know, outside their visas and try to, you know, deal with that.
Right.
He sent them to one particular lawyer. Yeah, so that would give you 1 die.
Submit. Notes. I went brain dead. How you spell lawyer?
Lawyer. Yeah.
Good. 4.
What
Well done.
happened? Ah, darn it. Got a 4.
On a 4 or 5, they're equal to the tier of the crew. So they are tier 0. That feels lackluster. I feel bad about being like, yeah, you put all that stuff and you blew your downtime action. You get like nothing out of it at all.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, that's real life in my mind. It's like, all right, well, we'll try again tomorrow. Then I guess training, and I would like to train and
that would have been to get a lawyer to tack on to the trying to make arrangements. You can still try to make arrangements, or you can train.
How do I go about making arrangements? Same thing.
Find an action on your character sheet that you feel like it makes sense for like something you would do to be trying to make arrangements.
I would think study, just to try to.
Yeah, because you could. Yeah. You could consort with someone. You could try to sway someone to try to help you with paperwork. But study, where you're like studying like what is the actual like law around emigrating to Duskfall from Tycheros.
Right.
Yeah, that absolutely is a valid option.
Control, risky, desperate.
I think
with no lawyer.
Well, there's not really any consequence just for like looking at it, and for these like it's not something where there's blowback from them. They're probably just more fortune rolls than. But yeah, it's
fortune rolls.
Yeah, a fortune roll based on the number of dots you have in study.
Effect. Standard.
Yeah.
No bonus dice.
No, that's where the lawyer would have come in, as like adding on to your stuff there.
Oh, God damn.
4 isn't bad.
Yeah.
4 is a partial hit. Okay. So on a 4, like you do get reasonable and useful information. Like you find there's paperwork and I need to do this and it'll need to be notarized by these guys and that kind of thing. And that's all stuff that you can do. Right? So you do get 2 ticks on that clock to try to make arrangements for Lorena.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Where is that clock at?
It's on like the Duskfall map. I just stuck it on the it's towards the lower right part.
All right, cool. Okay. All right. Now what do I do?
That's it. There's two downtime actions for everybody, unless you want to buy extras, which you can for 1 point each.
Yeah. Nah.
Yeah. Okay. Demas or Maribel, anything you'd like to accomplish?
I know what I would like to do.
So do I. You want to go ahead, Ethan.
Okay. So the first thing I want to do is, I don't know if this would be like a long-term project or what, but I would like to begin crafting an identity so that I can attend like consulate events, like the Skovlin consulate, on like an identity of some sort.
Okay. So you've got one.
Do I?
Yeah, it's in your spider items. You have a fine cover identity.
Oh, a fine cover identity. Oh, well, never mind. Okay, well, in that case, I would like to research instead specific vulnerabilities within the consulate, so that we can just go ahead and start dismantling that now.
So what's the goal then with the consulate? Is like to like totally take it down, to like Try to infiltrate and replace the leadership?
I think for Demas, it's trying to figure out who was responsible for what happened to his family.
Okay.
And to make sure that they're no longer there. And to, maybe clear the name eventually or something to that sort. Because I don't think Demas knows exactly what happened, but he knows that it was not above board. Or at least assumes it wasn't. Because I'm sure there were plenty of unhappy Scovland houses that turned out just fine.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll throw a clock up there for, find out who in the consulate set up House Falk.
Yes.
Okay. So how would you like to go about doing that? Like, what's a scene of, even if it's just like a montage with like, we don't hear the actual dialogue, but we see him doing things. Like, how does Demas go about doing that?
I think he would go out using his fine cover identity, go out and kind of rub shoulders with some of the nobles who are still kind of in favor around the consulate. And, just sort of inquire.
Okay.
And sort of try to start getting some information, like just that typical Scovland speech of how things have changed and like what happened to this house and what happened to, not specifically asking about his, but others that maybe something similar has happened to.
Gotcha. Okay. So like what's an action that you would like to use for doing that?
I mean, I think it would be consort, right? Because I'm kind of speaking with people in those circles and
consort with connections from your heritage, background, friends, or rivals to gain access to resources, information, people, or places, which sounds pretty dead on. Yeah.
So do I roll that skill or do I do a fortune roll with the 2 dice?
You can roll it with that skill. It's just we're really only concerned with the outcome and not so much the
gotcha.
Position and effect kind of deal.
All right, I'll just do that. Ooh, that didn't go
well. There are other houses. They are upset. Not everybody made out as badly as House Pavok. It's still worth 1 tick on the clock. What is 1 tick worth of information there? I think, yes, there was definitely something that was probably aimed at House Pavok. Because like you said, there are other people who were like did not make out as bad. And I think there might be like, you may get the name of another house that did make out bad.
Mm-hmm.
But still not like an answer of like, what was the grudge against House Pavok and House Blank? So it's like, it was not exclusively you guys, but it was more, there was more blowback on these people than there was on the vast majority of everyone else.
Right. I will take that.
Okay.
And then for my other downtime action, I'd maybe try to clear some heat.
Okay.
Off the crew.
Yeah. So how does Demas go about doing that?
So I think he would just kind of spread rumors that aren't entirely accurate, like while he's at these parties and these events speaking with people, just like, I hear those lamp blacks are collecting strange artifacts and one of them's gone missing. It's so strange.
That sort of thing certainly must be dangerous, yes.
Yeah, just pointing fingers in a lot of directions in the way that a noble would, without much. I don't understand this world, and how could these things have happened?
Oh, could have been anything going on. I have no idea what it would be, but yes,
right.
Certainly.
It's World of Shadows I'm not involved in.
Right, just probably he would have like a grocery list of like gang names and just start it's a different one every time that he's just picking up.
I hear it was the Billhooks who hit the Red Lamp Blacks house. Did you hear about what the Wraiths did to the Lamp Blacks? That's
yeah, stuff like that.
Oh, those silver nails are at it with the lamp flax again. Yeah,
Then you get even closer and be like, the unseen. Wow, they just all about that kind of stuff.
you know, I hear Lord Skurlock really has it in for the lamp flax.
Pretty much, just something to that effect.
Yeah. Yes. So what is an action that applies there?
I think it's still consorting. I think he's just
Cool.
doing his thing.
All right. Yeah,
Um,
go for it.
cool. How is it the same thing? How does that
Wow.
work?
I don't know.
But
Okay,
reduce heat
well.
is different though. Like
Yeah,
when
you still reduce one,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
he's just like,
So let me find the crew sheet here.
I feel like in character he's been out of the noble circle for a time, and so maybe he's still like he's not used to it again. So he's just not great at doing high society snobbery. He's probably
Just a
kicking
lot of
himself like
practice.
just kicking himself like I'm out of practice.
He needs himself a good Edwardian tailor to. Speaking of which, so where's Maribel at?
Maribel is going to first reduce heat as well. Mainly down in the crow's foot area. Chatting
Okay,
probably
how
with
does
Bazo Boss. Gonna make sure that relationship stays good and solid.
yeah, like
Would he like his gun axe back?
Not gonna bring that up. I'm coming
yeah,
as a
you
friend
find
that
him.
heard horrible things.
Yeah,
have
you
happened.
find him in a
Get
bar
roughed
that
up by
is
the bluecoats too.
deep
Yeah.
in lamp black territory. Like,
Dressed
one arm
differently.
in a sling.
Oh.
Shot of whiskey. We kind of get that like close up view on the camera. Like he puts it and he takes a little sip, and you get that little like swirl of blood from his busted lip that like flows back in. Like,
Yeah.
like jaw just utterly clenched. And, a couple people, like other lamp blacks, coming and going. I think as you arrive, you catch him like kind of beratedly speaking, like, I don't want to yell at you in public, but like I'm kind of overly loud whispering in this bar. Like, I don't care what the hell you have to do. Fucking find it. Like,
Okay.
and then like these two other lamp blacks kind of like we're gonna go now. Like,
Yeah.
but he still has like there's a couple other lamp blacks in the bar keeping an eye on everything in case like, yeah, I mean there's open fighting in the streets with the red sashes here, so they're keeping an eye on everything. But he is in this bar, arm in a sling,
Yeah.
drinking his whiskey.
I'm just here as a friend who heard some things happened and just very caring, touching person that I am.
Like, well, I appreciate the thought. Thanks for stopping by.
Anything
Here,
I can
let me
do.
get you a drink, and he has to bring another whiskey over.
Anything I can do for you, just totally playing up the I am your friend because I am.
Yeah, no, I think
I
that
just
he
screwed him over tremendously, but I
Oh
am his
yeah,
friend.
massively.
Twice.
Oh, feel lucky he doesn't have the sea lies power. God, that would be awful.
We would have stopped being friends a long time ago.
Oh yeah, that would have been real bad. So you guys wanted to meet me for dinner? No. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
I think I have the same score in consort and sway, so I'm thinking consort.
Yeah. So sway is more like I'm trying to change someone's mind, and consort is like I'm trying to acquire something usually.
Gotcha.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
5. Yeah. So you convince him. It's like, oh yeah. Well, I mean, I saw you when I came in. Really, you look like you're frustrated and upset, and like he'll end up being like, yeah, somebody stole my precious gun axe. It's like, oh well,
You love that thing.
yeah, I know. And you heard that it was someone else.
Oh yeah, it was totally someone from the the one that Ethan just said. Damn it.
The unseen.
Yes, thank you.
The one that's like vaguely in the same neighborhood as ours.
Yeah, that. I say that. Sorry, I like.
We're gonna piss them off eventually because that's gonna be our scapegoat group because it's like just
Well,
close enough that they're like, what are they? The faceless?
The
No, the unseen.
unseen.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's so close.
I really like throwing all the heat on them. That sounds great. Yeah, I heard some rumors about maybe the unseen had something. You know, I always have my ear to the ground about rumors. Because I do. Because it's my thing.
Sorry, I just gotta.
Just take a note. Did you take
It's
off
like,
any
well,
heat?
Sorry, I did not take off heat, but I will here.
Oh, okay. I just didn't want to click things that I shouldn't.
I got it here. Yeah, so, oh, no, wrong. I have been unticking the wrong thing. Sorry. Ugh. I'm supposed to be taking off heat, not rep. Bad, Mike. Bad.
No, not a rep.
No.
Sorry, I put it back.
Demas took off 1, right?
Yeah. So it's rep is back up at 4, heat is down to 1. Sorry.
Yeah, because you took off 2 and I took off
2.
1. So.
I was rereading.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so he will probably say something about that sounds unusual for the unseen, but who can really say what's usual for them since nobody knows who the hell they are?
Exactly.
Since all their members are secret.
Mm-hmm. But you know how rumors...
There is certainly a lot of
how
crossover
rumors
here.
spread. People say different things. You never know.
Like, well, I mean, if it was going to be somebody who hit us, I'm sure.
I know what you think.
Then, if it was going, well, what he tries to say is, if somebody was going to hit someone as the Lamp Blacks were strong, we know what we're doing, then obviously it would have been the unseen who are powerful and not the faceless who are nothing.
Sure. Yep,
Bruh.
Yep.
Fair enough.
We're right
We are
here.
nothing.
Come
That's
on.
all we wanted. No, we don't.
Our
wanna be there.
tier may be 0, but we are strong.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. So you have reduced heat, and you get 2 of them. That was just 1, right?
Yeah, that was my first one.
Okay.
And then I'd like, I guess, to train in resolve. Are you allowed to do that?
Yes. Just tick one of the checkboxes in resolve, and take XP there.
Okay. That's it for me.
Okay.
We're all downtimed up.
We did it.
Ooh, yeah.
Is this a good time to take a break, Mike?
Yes, that's actually what I was going to just mention. Since we've been around for no, not quite an hour and a half, hour 15 or so. So yeah, if we want to take 10, good.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Then we will take a brief break, and we will be back in a moment. I will try to get us some hold music. And yeah, we'll be back in a few minutes, everybody. About 10 past the hour. Cool. Hello again, everyone. We are all downtimed out. Everybody has worked on clocks and tried to make arrangements for wives and researched Lord Skurlock and cut down heat and all that sort of good stuff. So yes, we come into the phase of the play where we kind of just let you guys kind of wander around the city here for a while. And I can tell you some of the details on things that have been going on, things that have been the news of the day.
What's the word on the street?
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
right. Word on the street. So Red Sashes and Lampblacks have been at war for a while now, ever since the leader of the Crow got killed. Leader of the Crows got killed, rather. So when that happened, the Crows, the second in command took over, and the group kind of splintered a little bit. She's been working to try to gather control over all the Crows again, so she can reestablish like the truce in Crow's Foot. And it sounds like they've been making some progress, but they haven't actually finalized that. I also had a note here that I should have brought up in Downtime, that since the Crows still technically run Crow's Foot, and you're operating out of Crow's Foot, they expect you to pay up after you do scores on their territory.
Well, that's a great
So that-
expectation for them to have.
They are expecting 1 coin from you guys for having operated within Crow's Foot to pull a score.
What happens if we don't pay them?
Eventually, they get frustrated. They find a way to take it out on you guys.
Is there like a balance where we pay like every other score, and so they don't ever get happier, but they don't ever get madder? Like, where is that balance? I would like to find it, please.
Well, then the question simply: are you paying up for having done the scores plural actually that you did last time? But we'll say that it was one thing.
Can I ask a secondary question, though?
Yes.
Because we don't want people to know that we did that score necessarily.
No, they know we did it. We've just been lying after that.
Well, they know that you have been operating in Crow's Foot.
Okay.
Right,
Okay.
like that's the thing that they're trying to get money for. I don't think they're going to grill you over on exactly what did you do that you're giving us this coin for, as much as like, hey,
Okay.
we were doing some stuff and you're the ward boss, so tink. All right.
My gut instinct is to give away David's money
Oh, mine was Maisley's.
or the child's money. Yes, but no.
I'll flick. No. I'll flip a coin.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Cool.
But I want to do it in a disrespectful way, like in their face, like you throw money in somebody's face.
Oh yeah, you can go
Like them
into
with
a
the coin?
bar. Like there's in the middle of Crow's Foot, there's like this one tower, and that's Crow's Tower. That's where they actually operate out of. In fact, it's on the map. So yeah, in the middle of Crow's Foot, there's Crow's Tower there, and then like kind of in that little hexagonal square type space around it, there's like a bar that like some of them go to, and like that like if you go to one of that bar, there's always going to be somebody there, and that's who you can be like, here's us paying us up to the ward boss. So you can certainly go in, like put the coin on the table, like flick it at the dude who's there, take his shot and drink it, and like kind of like go on your way. Be like, here's your thing, screw you, I'm out.
Yep. Do I want to do that? Do I want to try to find information out here? Because you said
Well,
the Crow's Foot's still splintered, right?
Yeah, so the Crows are still
Like, she's
kind of
consolidating,
busted up
but
right now. She's starting to get some of them back on board. But like it's still not like, I've gotten the whole band back together. She's still working towards that end. But these ones are like
I'll go in
the
there.
loyalists. Like that you can come here to pay up.
Oh, so they are the loyalists. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, flipping the coin and taking his drink and drinking it and bugging out because I'm the biggest, baddest dude in the world.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Today, the day
I
that die.
think like the guy that like you take his shot, he like starts to get up, and like the other guy, like the other one that's there is like just like puts his hand like in the front of his chest and like, no, we got this coin. It's like a bunch of money. You just relax. He bought his drink. Yeah. We're not here to fight. I'm not being paid enough to fight this. He paid up. Let him go.
We'll kill him later when he doesn't pay.
Yeah. Lissa will have her revenge here eventually. Don't even worry about this guy.
Because I'm in my mask, by the way.
Oh yeah, I mean if you're stopping by to like, pay up here, clearly you're trying not to be.
Yeah.
Follow me home and know who I am. Yeah, good plan.
I mean, what exactly are we trying to get information on?
I would actually like to address that by calling everyone together.
Okay.
Because, I mean, don't we have like a benefactor who kind of points us to certain places?
That's a good question.
And then also, I mean, at the end of the day, we want to take over the crows.
This is the sandbox part. We get to play in the sandbox and figure those things out.
Yeah, that's the start now.
Oh, I'm
so
sorry.
I think
That's the part.
Demas.
That's the now part.
Yeah, Demas. If you put out the word for like everybody to be like, hey, let's meet up in the shop.
We got to gather around the map table.
Yeah, up in the upper levels there, out in the corner on the fringes of Crow's Foot, where what's left of Empty Ohm's shop is there, and we meet in the back. When everybody gets there, we have
Tell me
someone
more.
here.
Tell me more.
Ooh, who is this lady?
And she is accompanied by. This is gonna be great. I love this. This is the best hairstyle I've ever seen. It is amazing.
What? That's
What
amazing.
is
I'm
that?
looking in the wrong place. Okay.
That's amazing, is what that is.
That is a historical Rwandan hairstyle.
That's amazing.
It's great. Yeah. So yes,
Wow.
when you get to the shop,
Love it.
in the back there is this woman and this guy who is accompanying her, who we still haven't fleshed out the whole patron thing, but the idea is that she represents the patron, right? You probably don't actually know who that is who's trying to help deal with stuff right now. But she is like the contact. She's the one who shows up and like talks to you guys and like, yes, we're keeping this shop available to you guys so you have a place to operate out of. We're helping where we can here to keep things afloat. But they are doing this on the understanding that Empty Ohm's work on the masks is something that patron is interested in. So she is here to be kind of the minder and be like, she's here with the gentle reminder that we expect progress to be made on the masks.
Well, Ohm's not here today.
Yeah.
He will return shortly, and progress will be made.
Have you ever lost anyone close to you?
You see the guy with the hair. He will kind of like. You notice that he has like this bag kind of hanging at his hip, and he reaches into it and he takes out a mask too. It looks like some sort of a black tribal mask with big jaws on it, and he puts that on.
King of Mask.
Yeah, and he kind of like looks down to his side, like next to him,
Mm-hmm.
and nods that direction.
Spirit mask.
Yeah.
Okay.
And other people are able to like, shift your perception to the ghost field if you want to. That's totally a good idea, right?
Oh, I
This is
shift
good on
all
that.
perceptions.
Oh, okay. So yes, he has his hand that's like hanging by his hip. Like in the ghost field, it's like it echoes the real world, but like things are a little bit different there, and you kind of get that like in the real world his hand is open, and in the ghost field like that hand is closed and there's a chain, and there's like a ghost that's like kind of floating down there. And as he looks and he nods at it, it reaches inside its rib cage and takes out a little bird and kisses it, and like the bird flies, like it passes through the glass of the window and leaves.
All right, I'm shifting back out of that.
I'm glad I
I
didn't
didn't do that.
Yes. And then he'll take the mask back off and like slip it into the bag at his side.
Hmm.
I think there was a power play there.
Is there any business other than our continued progress on the masks that is pressing?
No, she doesn't have anything else that's like significant of, I expect you to do this right now. She's like, just friendly reminder, make some progress on the masks. I know where you live. So,
I'm going to compel the little ghost thing to tell me what it just did.
okay.
Oh, this can only go well. We got a voodoo witch doctor up in here.
Whisper on whisper action. This is going to be great. Okay.
Keep your filthy mind out of the gutter. Why won't my character sheet open?
Oh, okay, I thought I lost everybody.
No, sorry, we're just being real quiet.
Quiet.
Yeah, I had to
Waiting for Scott.
I was refreshing my screen because I couldn't open my character sheet.
Oh, okay.
I was refreshing my screen. Sorry.
Refreshing
me.
your screen.
And so what did the ghost look like? A little kid?
It looks like not like a little kid. It was adult sized, but like didn't really have legs. It just kind of like trails off into tattered cloth.
Mm-hmm. So I reach out to it, and I'm like, "Tell me, friend, what were you doing?"
Oh, Tuhan here is staring dead at you the whole time.
I'm just a little girl. It's okay. What were you doing?
Yeah, this is how we all die.
So what do I roll?
Pretty much anything to do with ghosts is typically a tune.
Okay. It's probably risky.
It's desperate.
It's desperate?
It's somebody else's ghost, and like the other whisper is right there the whole time. You're trying to mess with somebody else's stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you could own ghosts.
Well, he's got it on like a chain, a spectral chain.
What's the effect?
Limited.
I'm gonna take 2 stress for 1 extra die.
Okay. Six. Nice.
Yes.
So while we're thinking of it, check one of the XP boxes above where Tune's at. I forget what that one's called. Off the top of my head. Yeah. So you do get an XP for it. Yes. So this is definitely a ghost that like has been wrangled and kind of kept and controlled, so that he can direct it to do specific things for him. And where it's got this kind of like tattered upper part of a robe, so it's got like kind of a half hood, you can't really see the face, and then it like kind of opens up and there's like rib cage, and inside the rib cage there's a bunch of like little spectral birds. And it was definitely something where like he can command it to send the spectral birds to deliver messages.
Okay. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Mr. Ghost. I wouldn't keep you trapped like that. And I look up at the guy and just kind of turn my head sideways and give a tisk.
Mind your place, child.
But Father,
Why don't you go play with Why don't you go play with Cerberus?
Oh, okay. So I go off into the corner and play the dog. I basically like take my arm and I keep putting it in its mouth, trying to get him to bite me, but he won't.
I think he will go over. He will go over to Demas, and Demas he'll kind of like finger in the chest, and he's got this ring that looks like a silver nail that's been like hammered flat and then shaped around the finger, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if that child is yours, you better learn to keep it under control.
Not mine.
Didn't wait. Wait, what?
Still,
To try and smooth this out.
We won't waste any more of your time.
Yes.
like, yes. He kind of like there towards the door. He like opens it and kind of like gestures towards it for Cinder. Cinder has this cloak that she had like kind of draped over her arm that she puts on, that has this huge hood on it, which now I have to try to figure out right now.
Hello?
There it is. Okay, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, just
nice.
had to find the right handouts. Yes, so it is in a fashion that you would usually see in the Imperial City, not necessarily for people from Duskfall. But she puts that on and it has this like massive hood, and they depart into the dark.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Cinder.
She does like give like kind of a little half bow. She reaches into like her waistcoat and like checks a little pocket watch and closes it, like on about her way.
Lightness, always.
Yes.
Shall we get to business then?
Indeed.
And we're just gonna assume that Empty Ohm is just off doing something.
Yeah, he's
working
somewhere. He's gathering parts or shopping or I was going to say indulging his vice, but his vice is basically shopping. So that's
I'm pretty sure.
Like not in so many words. He has like a specific vendor out in like there's a rooftop market in Silk Shore, which is like a lot of it's a vice district. But there's a rooftop market there with like some Taikarosi vendors that he goes to visit. So.
He's probably doing something weird with his neck holes.
He's dropping so many gummy bears. That's
such a waste.
Yes. But yes, Cinder and Tuhan leave, and you have the rest of the place back to yourself again.
Yeah. So Demas probably, I imagine, as a spider, has a map with lots of string and pegs and string connecting pegs. So, how shall we effect change next, my dear compatriots?
Well,
first
actually, I need to close about 5 windows that I have open in here. 1 second.
Damn.
So change.
Personally, I think.
Go ahead, Ghost. No, feel you first.
Personally, I think we need to figure out how to get some of the the less loyal of Crow's Foot, maybe working for us or another gang, entice them one way or another. Keep that fraction weak.
I like. Maribel?
I think if we keep helping with the disassembling of the crows, that could definitely help our position within this district.
My question then is, are we in the position to take their place should they fall?
Not yet. But we do have an ally that would be interested, probably.
Interested in taking their place themselves, I think.
It's a long-term game, right? We don't have the ability to take over the crows, but the Red Sashes do. Place them in power, and then we whittle our way to the top.
That seems chaotic.
It's so
Sounds
every day
like
in this city.
sounds like fun.
Eventually, the lampblacks and the red sashes are going to just kill themselves by fighting in the street. We could continue to sow dissent between them.
And if they do that, then I can make more friends.
The lamp blacks have been taking marginally more losses than the red sashes so far.
I say we speeding that up.
Yes. Remember, we are not assassins by trade.
Really?
We didn't pick that one.
Nope.
No, nope. I forgot about that. My
We
fault.
picked
but
weird.
We are,
I believe. Or
weird.
Yeah, we're shadows. We're espionage.
Oh, okay.
I believe now
Spies do a lot.
perhaps would be a time to gather strength. More resources, more contacts.
Mhm.
Weave our web, as it were.
Fair enough.
Such a way with words.
I got a thing, okay? I've got a thing.
He's
Shut up! It's aesthetic. It's like
It's in the name.
It's in the name. I have a tattoo. It's a thing, guys. Come on. I agree with gathering information. It is.
We do so like out of character. I think our two options just on this big map thing on the crew sheet would be either informants or covert drops.
What are you looking at? I am so sorry.
So it's on the crew sheet. There's like this big thing that's like layer and it's got like turf and
Oh,
gang
okay.
laid in and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Like informants could be good, or also like Casey was saying, covert drops to just have more
Covert drops.
covert drops if we want more coin, informants if we want more information.
What else does? What can coin do for us, like as a game mechanic? I don't know. What is it?
so as the crew levels up, you're going to have to pay in coin to do it, right?
Mhm.
Having the patron reduces that significantly, but you're still going to have to pay. Like when you guys fill that rep meter and you go from being tier 0 to tier 1, it's still going to cost 5 coin for the crew to move up.
Okay.
Also, coin can be you can buy extra downtime moves with coin. If you hit a situation where like you need a flashback to do a downtime scene, like, oh, we would have been better off here if in downtime we had acquired a cannon, right? You can use coin to buy that downtime action in a flashback.
Okay.
And
Okay.
as you fill stash on your character sheet, each full row starts to describe like how your character's lifestyle is. So like when you fill the first row, it's like you've got a little apartment somewhere and things are kind of okay. And if you fill like all of them, it's like you just retire rich.
That's
like
your
you never
retirement
care about
fund.
anything ever. Yeah. That's like,
When you
when
trauma yourself out of the game.
yeah, when you can no longer keep carrying on as a scoundrel, how do you live out the end of your days in what kind of, squalor or comfort?
Okay. I think covert drops is good to go then. I feel that at the moment we can cover information if necessary with our skills.
Okay. So, and that's just to do like
That's
those things that are part of the map. If you were going to do a like, we want to, if we figure out like what the lamp blacks are up to against the red sashes, and then we want to take a mission that's going to stop that, then that's a score also. But like you get to pick like, do you want to do a score for something off the grid here or something kind of story oriented or, that kind of thing too. So.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yes, all the things on the chart there are up for grabs.
I think like my take on it is that the stronger we get, the more stuff and the bigger crews we can take on and that kind of thing. So anything that gives us more resources or more information or better quality things is good to start, maybe.
Yeah.
That's like kind of the idea. We have to build our foundation before we can start staging coups.
I agree.
Coup d'etat, coup d'etat, coup d'etat. I'm all about it.
So, do we want to do then? I'm guessing. So, are we going to informants? Because it sounds like that's what you two kind of want to lean to.
Covert Drops also would give us more money resources to make up
Coin,
for the
yeah.
things we don't have. So,
I think for this
All
one, we
right.
should.
I mean, it's.
What?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think we should go covert drops. Because I would like for us to get
Yeah.
to the next level of, of
yeah.
our rep.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
So
And have the
covert
money to
agree.
covert
actually do
drops is like people secretly dropping us stuff, right? That's what that means. Just so I'm
it. Or weird,
like
covertly
weird.
dropping stuff. Yeah.
Let's see.
Because I think
We're
like
smuggling.
all of these things are things that we get as a crew. So we get covert drops of stuff because we established that with a score, I think, if I'm reading it correctly.
Yeah.
So we have to, that's the score, is to figure out how to organize
so
those.
covert drops are.
It's just like bits and Twitch.
Yes. Covert Drop says you get +2 coin and pay off for scores that involve espionage or sabotage. The perfect hidden exchange point is worth the extra coin to discerning clientele.
Oh, so we have a place to drop stuff off that people pay us more for.
Yeah, there's you have a way of making exchanges without it being as noticeable.
I think that works
So
out great
that's
for
worth money for you guys.
our whole vibe of not being super flashy with our stuff, right? And like hiding our faces and things like that.
Can you read what that text is for informants, though?
Yes. It says you get +1D to gather information for a score. Your eyes and ears on the street are always on the lookout for new targets. So that's like, you have a network of all the little urchin children, and they tell you when people are like coming and going from the bank with large bags of money, who those people should be for you to steal from, kind of deal.
If that's not the one we get now, it's definitely the one we should get next.
Yeah, I'm done with them. Just getting our.
Yeah.
I like the idea of getting like a few of those to start, and then like start jumping out
Getting
into
the
some
turf.
more.
Yeah.
Start jumping out into some more important goings on.
Yeah. So I think,
Is
are
it-
we agreed, y'all?
And I think in
Drops.
character as well, having Bazo Baz call our gang nothing is a personal affront. He will see nothing.
Well,
Fine gun axe I got.
we would like for him to continue to not know that that is us for the moment.
There will be
For
a
the
point.
moment.
For the moment. Eventually we can demonstrate our power.
Okay.
Damn. So our plan is to find some good drop locations that may or may not be already occupied, and we can figure that out when we get there.
So the general way that those things are structured is that the city is so kind of compressed because the population can't sprawl outside the lightning wall, that all these things exist, but all of them are taken by someone. So you're going to have to do a score to claim it from them.
Okay.
So someone is running a covert drop, and you're going to have to like screw with that to take it over.
That sounds like a fun next mission.
Yeah.
I think, should we all spend some time just in general gathering information about different things so that we have like a list of things that we can choose from instead of.
That sounds like a good idea to me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because then,
There's
like,
something else I need to do with a bit of this free play time, but
okay.
Yeah.
Do we want to do that while people think about ideas for where they could go and be looking for stuff?
I just need to know what's going on with my brother.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a little bit.
like brothers in these games, and they're just screwing things up left and right.
He's like running around wearing a big cowboy hat. It's like, no, wait, I'm thinking of the wrong thing.
Wait, wrong game.
Yeah. He's got this weird dude who keeps complaining about a goat. I don't understand that.
He's wearing those damn paint patches.
Yeah. Yeah. So, are you like asking around about your brother? Or are you trying to track Grell down?
No, I'm gonna go find Grell and have a
Okay.
conversation.
Okay. Let me find my.
Damn. I like
Got
the sound of that.
I'm just gonna clear out real quick.
Actually, can I take Ghost with me?
Yeah, sure.
Little
If
bodyguard.
Yeah, no problem.
Ghost
Yeah.
willing to go,
muscle
absolutely.
Action. Oh, muscle action here.
Um,
Not the creepy.
Yeah, no
Are
problem.
you sure you don't want me to go? Are you sure?
You should stay with
We
Demas
could-
and Cerebus.
Ivy is going to tear you apart.
I'm sorry?
Nothing. I'm just gonna go play with the dog.
so I think he's been spending a fair amount of time around Night Market.
Night market.
Yes. And I am trying to find my city districts and Night Market and show that guy to you. So Night Market is farther east in the city and it's southeast from Crow's Foot. It's obviously it's a market. There's a lot of sales that go on here. A lot of the saleable goods that come through from the cargo trains travel through here. The railway station for Lightning Rail is here in the southern part of Night Market. And I don't have what those actual numbers refer to written down in a handout here. So give me 1 second. Because I believe number 1 there is actually some form of tavern, but let me look up which one it is. Because that would be a good place to.
Intimidate?
What?
That would be command. I was looking at to see what would have been an intimidating type kind of.
Yeah, so command is like trying to get people to do what you want them to through like force of will, like threatening or like outright yelling at someone to do something falls under command.
I gotcha.
Nope, that is the right character sheet.
Okay, Blades in the Dark. This one. Speaking of having too many windows.
It's a real problem.
I know.
Should have brought Cerberus with me, but we had to keep the little girl entertained.
What happens if we just drop the little girl in the river?
We can't do that, Cerberus.
I'll probably explode.
It's just a conversation I'm having with Ghost. That's
I get one step closer to having a spirit playbook.
Do we know?
From
Do we
behind
know?
behind you, you actually see me, and I'm just like, try it and find out.
God, she's creepy.
Get on!
She's creepy. Seriously,
Okay,
need to talk.
night.
I just want to be friends.
Do we know about your contract with him or her?
You know that I
There's
can't get rid of the
something-
kid,
Okay.
or else
That
I
doesn't
would have
mean
gotten
we
rid of
can't
the
get rid
kid.
of the kid. We could get rid of the kid.
I would say your understanding of the situation would that be if something happens to the kid, something bad happens to me. But the
Calculated
nature
risk.
of that is unknown.
Calculated risk, Casey. We should think about.
No.
I'm kidding, Scott.
No.
Only kind of. I'm
Okay.
only kind of kidding.
I like your character, Scott.
I'm just
enjoy
kidding,
it.
Scott. Only kind of. I mean,
Haha, it's so funny. I'm laughing. Having a good time here.
There's a lot of chaotic energy in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
got
think
a
when you
roving
get to
shark
Night
look,
Market,
dude.
You get to Night Market, and you know that he's been hanging out towards the center hexagon that's kind of in the map there. So you do kind of head towards that area, and when you get there, um, that whole structure is kind of it's wooden posts with like kind of canvas awnings, and it's a bunch of tiered seating around a racetrack where there are dogs racing. And when you get there, Grell is arguing with this Ruvian man, and it's not like arguing, but like Grell's like kind of like no, I'll do it. It's gonna be fine. I can make it happen. And the Ruvian man's like, well, this is your chance. This is your opportunity, and like do it or not. And like the Ruvian man kind of like turns his back on Grell and walks away.
I
And
come up
Grell's
to Grell.
kind of like wringing his hands and starts walking away and like kind of like
No. I come up
oh
to
thank
Grell
goodness
and,
you're
like,
here. Right.
push
Like,
my arm through his arm, stand next to him, as if we're walking somewhere. Brother
Yes.
dear.
yes, Maribel. I didn't expect to see you here. I'm
Well, the dogs really aren't my foray. Not something I enjoy to see. But I have heard tell of you being in places you shouldn't be seen of recent.
Well, I'm a grown gentleman. I can go wherever I like, and you can't, rabble, right? Like, yeah.
Oh, thank you, Ghost. Thank you.
Yeah, he will like, oh, he's with you, and like, kind of like, it like, oh, the big shark dude is with you, okay.
Yes. You need to stay out of Crow's Foot. And
Like,
don't go speaking to Bazavas about your inability to keep money in your pocket.
It's like, well, that's gross. I was only there the one time. I don't even spend time there that often. I'm not.
Well, make sure that you don't go back, or my
fine,
dear friend will have a conversation with you about it. Do I make myself clear, brother dear?
Conversation.
It's like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. No crow's foot. I get it. That's fine. It doesn't. It's like, look, I do.
Do you get it, Grell?
I pull out my switchblade and I'll be like, that's a shame. Cerberus really likes. Oh, I had it and I lost it.
The taste of oily
Cerberus
men?
would really. Yes. Just
refer to him as an oily
They fry
man.
up really good.
It was just a really quick thing that I just spit out.
Oily gentleman.
I mean, the picture doesn't help.
Dear brother of mine.
Dear brother of mine.
So oily.
Heard they cook up
I mean, we are like family of oil tycoons, but whatever.
Oily.
It's like, fine, yeah, fine. No more crow's foot. It doesn't even matter. I wasn't even there because I cared. I was just trying to
Yes, go back to making your poor deals here. Why don't you stay here in the night market?
Is that man still around? The
Oh,
Arubian man?
the other guy? Yeah, he's still around. He's like over there. He's talking to people. You see several people who are like they're running up and down like the aisles and stuff. Like they're taking bets and things, and they're all reporting to him.
Okay,
like
so
he's the one who's like, yeah, he's like overseeing the whole dog track here.
So I have my knife out still, and I point at her brother and be like, "What's the deal?"
It's like, oh, that's Master Vreen. These are, it's his racetrack. If we've just, I was just talking to him. There's another investment opportunity. That's the only reason I was in Crow's Foot to begin with, was I was trying to come up with the money for another investment here. We're on the verge. He says there's one more thing, and once we do that one more thing, then everybody's going to see the windfall from it, and all the other investments paid back in full, and even more so. But just need to do this one more.
What's the one more thing?
Oh, I think he's trying to like improve the bars or something like that. Like he's trying to have like better drink service for the people here. Something.
I know you're like pulling it out of nowhere, but is he like? Is that actually like? Is he telling me the truth?
Oh, is
Like,
Grell telling you the truth?
Yes.
Yes. Grell is telling you the truth.
That is what he's trying to do.
He is trying to come up with money for another investment with Master Vreen. Because he's like, Master Vreen says this is the one that like finalizes the whole deal and everything gets back, and all of us who have invested money all these other times, it's going to be
times?
all of it and more.
Is this guy?
Does that not sound like? Sounds like a Ponzi scheme.
Is his last name Madoff by chance? We got the first name. Is the last name Madoff? Which is just a really unfortunate name for somebody who scams money. Like,
yeah, right.
Or extremely fortunate.
Mm-hmm. Grell, you're an idiot. You've been making deals with this man for months, and nothing has come of it at all. And now you're doing it again.
We're one step away. It's practically this last thing
when you came begging money from me. Regardless, stay out of Crowsfoot. Find your money elsewhere. Or you'll be talking to Ghost again. Understood?
Fine.
Just like I talk to ghosts all the time. Oh wait a minute.
Where did you come from?
How did this kid get here? Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to put the fear of Ghost into my brother.
Okay, yes. He is suitably aware that you have like large creepy shark friends who are capable of coming up and like, playing weird switchblade games that are going to be unpleasant for him.
What was the first name of the Ruvain man?
He is Master Vreen, Vreen.
I also know where I would like to go gather information.
Okay.
I would like to go see my friend August, the master architect.
Okay.
Yep.
And what would you like to talk to August about?
August, my dear friend, you know this city better than anyone. Are there any places particularly hidden, out of the way, valuable?
I think he's probably like he's got that thing where like his hairline is still up in the front, but his hair is so thin that like you can see his scalp, and he's got like the little tiny glasses that like clip onto his nose kind of deal. He's got like tables just covered in like rolled up blueprints and stuff like that. It's like, oh well, yes, I mean the city has been built up on top of itself, and for the last 800 years, it's like been unable to expand outwards, so everything is built on top of something else, and da 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 da.
I've heard this same explanation of Duskfall architecture probably 13 times by now.
Yes.
Thanks, Mike.
Yes. But yes, you will see the oldest districts in the city are Charter Hall and Six Towers. And that's certainly like within those, there's even still some of the original architecture that remains. It's still, some of it is mostly serviceable. And a lot of it's like, especially in Six Towers, like there's been a lot of like, I don't want to call it like urban decay in Six Towers, but like there's a lot of places where like people have moved out and they've been taken over by like squatters and stuff. Because Six Towers starts to reach like the edge of the city as you get out towards where the lightning wall is and stuff.
Yeah, let's see. I'm specifically looking for locations that would be enticing to well-paying clientele. Discreet, probably being the operative word. Perhaps covert.
I think
that word choice. Interesting.
Do you make him aware of like you're looking for like places that are like going to be relatively secure for the exchange of goods and information?
He's my good friend.
As a drop, as opposed to.
I mean, like, how much does he know about what we do?
Yeah, I'm like, are you trying to explain to him that you want to find a dead drop, or like I'm trying to find somebody like a safe house space, like kind of deal?
Yeah, I think it more like for exchanging.
Yeah.
Materials.
Yeah, I think he'll go and he'll be like, well, in this one part of Six Towers, there's this, and he pulls out this big one, and he kind of like hikes the little glasses up on his nose, and like rolls this big. It smells awful, like it's just mildew the whole way through.
Oh,
A map of like this one portion of Six Towers. It's like, yes, there's a building here. It's still stone. It dates back to the beginning of the imperial, like when the immortal emperor first rose to power, and it's a serviceable structure which is largely occupied by people who are taking care of it for the most part, but it does have portions of it here where, like, they would make a good exchange space, like a place where you could hide something that would be concealed, but it's not like trying to put it into the middle of somebody's living space or like trying to leave it totally out in the open kind of deal. Like here, there's this. It used to be like a really small, like, when this was a bigger building, it used to have like a space for like a ladder that ran from like an upper level to a basement kind of thing that like collapsed at the top. So like there's still a place to like move one of the stones of the building to get access to it, so you could put stuff in there.
okay.
But it's got like some empty space there to be
Gotcha.
putting something like that.
Yeah, I'm saying that sounds excellent. Thank you. You wouldn't happen to keep up with gang politics in that part of town, would you?
It's like, oh, no, I'm afraid I don't keep track of that kind of thing, friend. Da, da, da.
Of course not.
Yes.
Very well. Thank you.
Then he like loudly like brushes his nose and like goes off to find like something that like he obviously would have bought from a gang on the street. Yeah.
Yeah. And Demas will just say, should you need anything, favors beget favors.
Always, friend. A pleasure to see you. He like, as you're leaving, there's like a shot of him behind you, like rolling the thing back up and letting out this huge sneeze from like the dust and the mildew from it. Like, then going back up and climbing up to put it away.
Sure.
Fantasy hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's when you need that prestidigitation.
Yeah. And then Demas will return to our safe house and place a new pin in the map in Six Towers.
Let's say I want to go see the bounty hunter that's my enemy. Would I gain any knowledge of gangland activity over there? Or would she even want to talk to me, or are we that? I mean, I know she don't like me, but 'cause I don't see a doctor knowing gangland territory.
Yeah, the doctor is probably not going to go know a whole lot of gangland. Melver might operate out of Charter Hall. It's kind of a reasonable district, but it's not great.
All right.
I don't remember who else you had for friends, because you know everybody off that list. It's just like there's one that's who is like kind of high and low, but the others,
well,
you know,
I got
also.
Steiner. I got, is that Steiner? An assassin. Klingon? A sentinel.
Yeah, Melvin.
And then I know Spy.
Spy.
Because I'm just trying to get, like, what he was trying to do. I'm going to try to get a lay of the land. Because I figured we would get back, he would put the pin, I would see the pin, and see if I could find information. And the only person on my list that I could see who would have that information would be a bounty hunter.
I kind of want to say that she's more around like finding particular people than knowing groups.
I got you.
I do know an information broker as well.
Yeah, and also when a time comes that if we do want to do this as the score and it's time to make that engagement roll, the crew knows a blue coat and they would have information, so you could use them to help improve that sort of step of the process.
Cool ones, and I have like a gang leader and a tavern owner and a prostitute. That's dumb.
Hey man, they know everybody.
Hey,
The fun part
Real
is that
life
some of
Copper.
those appear on multiple lists with different descriptions.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fun.
So
I
if
know
you
a
say,
vampire.
I know, but if she says, I know a prostitute named Nyrix, and then Scott looks at his sheet, you realize you have a friend in common for the different reason, and it's really weird. So,
Ooh.
I'm trying to figure out if there's anything else I can do to possibly help, like, other than walk the territory.
yeah. So I'm,
You study, I guess.
um,
See, you're friends with the prostitute named Nyrex, and I'm friends with them after they're dead, because I'm friends with their ghost.
Like for reals, or are you just fucking with me?
Yeah, Nyrex is listed as a ghost on mine.
not yeah. Nyrix is not the prostitute. Nyrix is the ghost possessing the prostitute.
What the?
That's who
Okay.
I should have picked as
Keep
my
it-
friend. I should have
This
picked that as
game
my
is
friend.
amazing.
Oh my god.
There's so much good stuff in here.
I know. There's so much weird stuff. It's great.
It is 10.
Yes, I was gonna say this gives us some information that is actionable for next time. And then if we have more specific questions, I can answer some of them in Discord in between, and then we can address them before trying to do a score next time. Because I know we do have a hard out here that we have to hit. So, so yeah, if everybody's good with that, I'm content to say like, okay, we'll kind of pause it here, right? You've got an idea that next time we want to try looking at for taking over a covert drop that over in Six Towers somewhere, and then yeah, I'll feed you some more information about what going on in the city. So
Sounds good.
cool. All right, everybody else, thank you for coming out. Thank you for watching. HighShelfGaming.com. Subscribe to the podcast where all quality podcasts are sold or for free. Otherwise, Blades in the Dark.
We're just
It's
giving them
neat.
away.
Yeah, Blades in the Dark. It's neat. Go check it out. And for a couple more days, go hit up Kickstarter. Take a look for Terranary because it's
Terranary,
looking
yep.
really neat. So check that out. And
Bye,
we will
all.
catch everybody next time. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.